A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development on April 11, 2025, Asian shares experienced a sharp decline as the repercussions of escalating trade tensions between the United States and China unfolded. The catalyst for this downturn was the U.S. government's announcement of a steep tax increase on Chinese imports, which has now been set at an unprecedented 145%. This announcement came after former President Donald Trump had initially suggested a 125% rate, raising concerns among investors and traders alike. The uncertainty surrounding these developments has left markets in turmoil, as traders grapple with the implications of such aggressive tariff measures. During a bilateral meeting in Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, urging the European Union to stand united with China against what he termed unilateral bullying by the United States. She emphasized the necessity for cooperation between China and Europe, particularly as both regions navigate the complexities of a growing trade war with Washington. China and Europe should fulfill their international responsibilities and jointly resist unilateral bullying practices, she asserted, highlighting the need for solidarity in the face of aggressive tariff policies. The trade war initiated by Trump has raised fears of a global economic recession, prompting foreign leaders to strategize their responses to the tariffs. In a recent statement, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar noted that the U.S. administration's approach has significantly altered the landscape of international trade, particularly affecting technology sectors. Jaishankar expressed India's eagerness to finalize a bilateral trade agreement with the U.S. as soon as possible, indicating a sense of urgency in light of the shifting trade dynamics. The repercussions of the U.S.-China trade war are being felt far and wide, with countries like Sri Lanka expressing concern over the uncertainty created by the tariffs. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has reported that the tariffs imposed by the Trump administration have created significant challenges for Sri Lanka, which is still recovering from an economic crisis. Despite a projected growth rebound of 5% in 2024, the IMF has warned that the external shocks from the tariffs could jeopardize this recovery. In retaliation to the U.S. tariffs, China has announced an increase in its own tariffs on U.S. imports to 125%, a move that underscores the escalating tit-for-tat nature of the trade conflict. The Chinese Commerce Ministry confirmed this increase, raising concerns about the long-term implications for both economies and global trade. Meanwhile, American consumers and businesses are caught in the crossfire of this trade war. While some sectors, such as Gulf Coast shrimpers, hope that tariffs will help level the playing field against cheap imports, others are left wondering about the stability of their markets. Craig Wallace, a shrimp boat owner, expressed cautious optimism, stating that tariffs could potentially aid local shrimpers who have struggled against cheaper foreign products. In Taiwan, President Lai Ching-te has announced that the island will be among the first to engage in trade negotiations with the United States, aiming to protect its exporters from the looming 32% tariff. Lai emphasized the importance of these negotiations for Taiwan's economic future, asserting that the government is prepared to advocate for its national interests. As the global economy grapples with the repercussions of these trade tensions, the South African rand has shown signs of recovery following a tumultuous week. After hitting a record low against the dollar, the currency has gained strength as markets react to the U.S. administration's pause on higher tariffs for several trading partners, including South Africa. Analysts suggest that the rand's future movements will be closely tied to ongoing developments in the U.S.-China trade war and local political dynamics. In Europe, stock markets have also reacted positively to the latest news, extending gains after a week of volatility. Investors are hopeful that diplomatic efforts can mitigate the fallout from the trade war and stabilize global markets. However, uncertainty remains high as the world watches closely for any further developments in this ongoing saga. As trade tensions continue to escalate, the call for unity from leaders like Xi Jinping serves as a reminder of the interconnected nature of today's global economy. The actions taken by various governments in response to these tariffs will undoubtedly shape the future of international trade and economic relations for years to come. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.